I think it was Peter Lynch who said that on the way to work, there's almost an infinite number of bad news items that you can listen to. It's a good thing that this video is about the 3 positive things about the Indian economy. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. This is Pradeep and you're watching Vlog of Note. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 3 positive things about the Indian economy in the context of the IMF's "the worst is yet to come." Let's get started. So first of all, to set some context here, Nirmala Sitharaman, India's finance minister, is currently in the US for the IMF World Bank conference. All of the most important people in finance are there right now. To set the stage here, at the start of this year, IMF said India's growth is going to be about 8.2%. Then 6 months later, they cut it to 7.4% and now apparently it's 6.8%. Yikes. Obviously, this is because of the current world situation. I don't think you as an investor need to be told about it. However, in this video, I thought we'd spread some positivity and talk about the 3 positive things in the Indian economy right now. Before we jump into the video though, I would really appreciate it if you could spread some positivity back and give this video a thumbs up. Let's jump into the video. So the first positive thing about the Indian economy right about now is the growth in bank credit. Now, India is typically an economy where people don't borrow too much. However, in the last month, the demand for bank credit grew by 16.4%, which is the highest since 2013. That's a pretty big deal. Now, this is despite the fact that the Reserve Bank of India, the central bank in India, has been raising the interest rate like there's no tomorrow, and currently it's at about 5.9%. Actually, this is still a little bit worse than the US, where it's currently sitting at about 4% after a similar number of raises. However, in India, I think people are used to higher interest rates. This growth in the demand for bank credit has reflected in the fact that in India, you have home loans and you have auto loans. They make the highest segment of retail loans, which currently contribute about 48% of India's total loans, and retail sales of auto have actually gone up by 11%. Obviously, a lot of it has to do with the fact that despite the higher cost of borrowing, the banks are currently subsidizing interest rates. So in India, the positive right now is that you have an increased demand for bank credit at its highest point since 2013. The next positive about the Indian economy right now is the unemployment rate. Now, in September, the unemployment rate actually fell to 6.4%. Now, it's not as low as the US at about 3.5%, but I think we'll take any improvement that we can get in India, especially given our scale of operations. If you want an example of how good our labor market is right now, last month alone, we created 10 million new jobs. Not only are we creating new jobs, but according to the Manpower Group, which is a global HR consulting firm operating in over 40 countries and territories, they are saying that over 54% of Indian businesses actually want to increase their labor force up until December. The way this is calculated is basically 64% want to increase, 10% want to reduce, and therefore you have 54%, but still it places us the second highest in the entire world, only behind Brazil, not the United States. So overall, you have a very low unemployment rate, the lowest in the last 4 years, and you have businesses who are going to continue to hire in the next 3 months. I call that a positive. The third thing that is positive about the Indian economy right now, and I'm a little bit guilty to tell you this, is actually a feeling. We have something in the world of finance called the Business Confidence Index. It's basically done through a survey. It's not a quantitative number per se. You send out a survey to a whole bunch of businesses, ask them to rank their confidence level out of 10 on various economic factors, financial factors, as well as inventory, and then you aggregate the survey into a number between 0 to 100. Now, obviously, this number is quite volatile at this point of time, ranging between 51 and 55, but it's still the highest it's been in the last 7 years. Businesses in India are quite confident right now. Now, whether this is because we are rather stupidly optimistic or because there is something else at play, I really don't know. However, I have a thesis for you. I think in India, we have a highly services dependent market. Over 50% of our GDP is actually services, and our chief resource is our human capital, and God knows we have a lot of that. If you take the latest results of TCS, that's Tata Consultancy Services, India's leading IT company, you can see that they are making a profit of about $1.2 billion and a total revenue of over $6 billion. In their management call, they actually noted that they are seeing increasing margins and reduction in cost because of operational and employment efficiency. Overall, I think India is poised to be the biggest growth story among the developing markets in the world this year and over the coming years. And as an investor, I know it can be really hard to see your portfolio go down the drain, but hang in there and I'm sure things will get better in the end. That's about it for this week's episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up. As always, please go over to YouTube, subscribe to the Vlog of Note channel, ring that notification bell so that you never miss a video, and I will see you guys right back here next week.